What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody. So look, if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you've probably heard me bring this up more than once. It's time for us to get our own conventions. It's time for us to get our own cons, okay? Because this kind of crap keeps happening. Nerdrotic posted this up, shutting out Chris Gore for the second year in a row after being welcome at LA Comic-Con for years is a joke. He has forgotten more about pop culture than everyone, and I mean everyone, presenting at this con. So yeah, Chris Gore had posted this up, that he's done 3 or more panels every year since Comic-Con LA launched, and they were always packed. Unfortunately, this is the second year in a row that all my panels have been rejected. So Chris Gore does plenty of panels at the various conventions. He just did one down in San Diego Comic-Con, the independent film, I think, survival guide, and it's great. It's awesome, and it's a great resource for a lot of young and up-and-coming filmmakers who would have definitely been here at LA Comic-Con. And like Nerdrotic says, Chris has forgotten more about this stuff than these guys, any of these guys presenting. So it's like, why does he keep getting booted out? I don't understand it. You know, he talks about it here. Our last panel 2 years ago was packed, had twice as many people as Kevin Smith's panel next door, and these DEI panels couldn't get filled if you offered free fentanyl to the homeless zombies surrounding the building. Fuck LA Comic-Con. Yeah, I've actually talked about this full length on a video. This was the thumbnail that I put up on this video. We need our own cons. You know, and this was on the heels of Chris Gore getting rejected, I think, out of WonderCon. Nerdrotic had his press pass pull. There was this article in That Park Place, and that I was covering it. You know, I said, basically, the time has come. Corpo conventions reject Nerdrotic, that Star Wars girl, and Chris Gore. We need our own cons. Let me go ahead and play a little snippet of this video so you guys can remember. Gary Buechler, a.k.a. Nerdrotic, shared that his press pass for San Diego Comic-Con was yanked for the upcoming comic book convention this year. As reported by Fandom Pulse during a recent episode of the Nerdrotic Nooner show with his guest host Chris Gore, Buechler stated, "By the way, I just want to point out, I'm not making any issue of this, but I just want to make it clear, no issue right now, but my press pass got pulled. But it might be because I filled out something wrong, so it might be my fault. Just want to say, but it got yanked." Gore went on to detail that WonderCon, which is operated by the same company that puts on San Diego Comic-Con, Comic-Con International, rejected 3 panels he submitted for the show. He explains, "I submitted 3 panels to WonderCon, which were rejected, including one we just do that's sort of innocuous, the independent film survival guide. When we did that at LA Comic-Con, it was packed. We had a giant line of people asking questions and people genuinely just trying to help filmmakers. Like, hey, do this. Here's how this works. There's a cheap way to do this." Even that was rejected. This is something like if I was an attendee at WonderCon, all right, if I went to WonderCon, I would have been like, oh, hell yeah. I want to go and see this. And they rejected 3 panels that Chris put up. Chris Gore is a legend in the game. Chris Gore has a ton of experience. And again, there's a lot of people that want to be independent filmmakers. And this is exactly when I said we need our own cons, because I want to hear from people like Chris Gore. And then you guys will remember this one, right? And when Anna, that Star Wars girl, noted that C2E2 revoked her press pass, she shared on X on April 4, got the email, C2E2 canceled my press pass, it's on. Buechler reacted to that Star Wars girl's press pass being revoked during the Q&A live stream session, stating, "That's fucked up. I don't think anybody should be banned from a Comic-Con. I think if anybody wants to go, they should go. I don't know what's behind it, but it's fucked up. They should be allowed to go to a con." Again, that's why we need our own shit, okay? Not just for the fact that they may try to ban people or keep people out, or you got to buy a ticket, no press pass for you, Mr. 1 million subscriber YouTube channel, all right? When you got like Chris Gore trying to drop this kind of knowledge and it's getting rejected by these mainstream corporate cons, fuck them. No, we got to start doing this shit on our own. I just think it's long overdue. I think it's long overdue that we had some sort of a convention, you know, where all of us can hang out. We can help other independent filmmakers or comic book creators. They can promote their own content. You know, this guy right here, Boston Ryder, he says, so what you're saying is it's time for the Nerdrotic Comic-Con, or the Nerdrotic-Con is what I called it. Think about it. You and Chris Gore at the helm, bringing Zach Levi to promote his new studios. Fantastic. Great idea. Indie films plus indie comics and the whole non-woke YouTube Rumble ecosystem. Loop in folks like Benny Johnson to give Turning Point USA a present. Let folks like That Star Wars Girl and Snarky J lead the cosplayers and competition. Live stream all sessions for subscribers. Time for an alternative. I'm in. I've been saying it for over a year. Let's go. I'm glad to see people are energized by this. This is what we need. The energy and the enthusiasm that I'm seeing right now is something else, all right? Nerdrotic says, hey, that's a good idea. Boston Writer says, I'm a marketing guy, would love to help. Make it happen. Drop me a DM anytime. Have it in Texas versus California. Book some shit at Joe Rogan's mothership. You would be turning folks away. Seriously, epic stuff. I think so, all right? Benny Johnson says, I'm down, all right? So we got people that are all in. They're saying, let's go. Let's do this. You can have a lot of different panels. Everybody could get their meetups going. It would be phenomenal, you know? And I feel like you could have one in California, even though California is a little bit woke, but Film Threat puts on Award This every single year. What if you said, hey, you know what? Alongside Award This, we're going to have like a Film Threat con or something to that level, you know? And just have a con right here in LA, and Award This can be like the finale of that. You know, it's like, all right, we're going to all come together. Everybody's going to party, have a great time. Award This. You guys can come and check out the award show that awards independent filmmakers, you know, for the best films of the year and so on and so forth. I think you connect those two together, you got something. All right. You got action. But yeah, you got people are ready to go. Chris Gore says, yeah, we'll include the gayest panels of any kind along with the normal sexuals. Yeah, I'm sure that would be going over well with the people and everything. All right. Get Ryan Kendall and Star Wars Theory running real Star Wars panels. You know, this could be a hell of an event. I agree. All of this is what I've been talking about. I've been saying it for a couple of years, all right? That, hey, let's go ahead and make our own shit. Adrian Curry, don't bring me out of retirement. Don't make me come out of retirement. It's like, let's go. Listen, you got to create alternatives. It can't just be San Diego Comic-Con is the only game in town. It can't just be LA Comic-Con is the only game in town. And listen, I love conventions, all right? I go to anime conventions. I probably go to 2 or 3 or 4 anime conventions every year. I want to continue to be able to do that, hanging out with my peoples, hanging out with y'all, hanging out with various other content creators, and just, again, coalescing as a community. Community what it's all about. Continue to build the community, all right? I love that's why I like this. I put this hat on. Ripperverse and what Eric July has been doing is phenomenal, all right? Let's get Ripicon, okay? Let's get a Ripicon, you know? And everybody could have something there. You could have independent novelists. I'm an independent novelist. You can have independent filmmakers. You can have independent comic book creators, you know, just artists in general. Everybody can come together as a community. That's what I'm looking forward to. You know, but yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen if we don't get the energy behind it. I know there's a lot of voices out there that have, you know, kind of hinted at this, you know, Geeks and Gamers, you know, have the G&G Con, you know, I've heard them discuss it and say, hey, it might be, you know, a lot of work and it might not be worth the, listen, I think it'll totally be worth it. It's going to start small. You're not going to have, you know, 15, 20,000 people there on the first one. Maybe you started with 4 or 5,000, but you build from there. I think we could absolutely get 4 or 5,000 people in a convention center for a couple of days. Maybe you don't have 4 days, you started with 2. But there's absolutely a way to get this done. Dean Cain, absolutely. Bring in Dean Cain, bring in all the heavy hitters from around the world and just regular people. Because to me, it's all about the community anyway. It's all about all of us. Every last one of us. It's not just about the big top dogs. It's all the way down to the little guys too, because we're all one. All right. And yeah, like they said, bring in Turning Point USA. That would be awesome. All right. I print small item. Look, people like this. I print small item merchandise, shirts, cups, hats. I work for a sign company making banners, large print pictures. I'd happily invest in this with money, time, and resources. We have the people. The only thing we need now is the energy. So where's it going to come from? Who's going to start it? All right. I'm willing to start it if it has to be me, but I feel like there's bigger voices that could do a much better job and get a much further reach. And we could just start planning it. All right, this year we're going to be in Texas, and then maybe it travels around the country, you know, or maybe you'd put 2 on in a year. Who knows? There's all kinds of different ways to get this thing going. Yeah, look, Zachary Levi himself says, let's fucking go. Zach Levi is on board. If Zach Levi is on board, you got action. You got a lot of people that are willing to throw their money and their time and attention to something that is ours. Okay, we got to start doing that. More independent content, you know, people that rock with our sensibilities and not going to try to cancel out Chris Gore and Nerdrotic and other creators just because they don't like their politics, even though their panels are the most popular panels. That's crazy to me, man. But look, you guys let me know what y'all think about it, man. Is this something that we could really get going? Okay, I think it's time. I think we got to put this into the atmosphere and talk about it and bring it up and see where the interest is at and start putting the game plan together, you know? Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I'm excited to hear people talking about this. Again, it's something I talked about a year and a half ago. But now we're here, and I think it's time, and I think we need to get this going. But you guys let me know what you think. Jot down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.